The rain hammered the cracked sidewalk like 1,000 tiny accusations, each drop accusing Nicholas Hale of the life he'd tried to bury under layers of regret and cheap bourbon. He was just trying to get home from the corner store, plastic bag swinging heavy with a six-pack and a loaf of bread that tasted like cardboard these days, when the kid appeared out of the storm, small, soaked, eyes too old for 4 years, clutching a stuffed bear that had seen better decades. "Mister," the boy whimpered, voice cutting through the downpour like a knife through fog. "Daddy says you're gonna die if you tell." Nicholas froze, the words landing like a gut punch from his old undercover days. Because in that split second, he knew this wasn't some lost toddler's nightmare. This was the ghost of his past clawing its way back, wrapped in a child's trembling whisper. Seattle's gray veil clung to everything that November evening, turning the Puget Sound into a smudged watercolor from Nicholas's apartment window. He'd retired from the FBI 5 years ago, at 42, after a bullet grazed his shoulder in a botched sting that cost him his partner, and damn near his soul. The agency called it burnout, he called it survival. Now, he scraped by on a pension that barely covered the rent on his one-bedroom in Capitol Hill, fixing leaky faucets for neighbors and nursing a Scotch habit that whispered promises of numbness. Gay in a world that still side-eyed it, even in liberal Seattle, Nicholas had learned to love quietly, if at all. His last real shot at it ended in a ghosting text from a barista named Mark, who couldn't handle the nightmares Nicholas woke up screaming from. That's when Tyler walked into the Rusty Anchor, the dive bar 2 blocks from Nicholas's place, like he'd been scripted by some cruel god of second chances. It was a Thursday, the kind where the jukebox played too loud Springsteen to drown out the regrets. Tyler was 30, all lean muscle and easy smiles, with dark curls that fell just so over hazel eyes that held storms you wanted to weather. He slid onto the stool next to Nicholas, nursing a IPA, and said, "You look like a man who's seen the devil and bought him a drink." Nicholas chuckled, low and rusty. Flirting wasn't his game anymore, but Tyler's laugh pulled him in, warm as the first crack of sunlight after weeks of rain. They talked for hours that night, the bar emptying around them like water down a drain. Tyler was a graphic designer, freelance, scraping by in the gig economy while raising his son, Eli, alone after his ex bailed for Silicon Valley and a better life. "Kid's my anchor," Tyler said, tracing the rim of his glass. "For going on 40. Keeps me honest." Nicholas shared scraps, nothing deep, just the surface scars. The ex-wife who'd left when he came out, the job that ate his youth. But Tyler's gaze lingered, hungry for the truths beneath, and when he leaned in, their knees brushing under the bar, Nicholas felt a spark he thought long dead. 2 weeks later, they were tangled in Nicholas's sheets, the city lights painting Tyler's skin in gold and shadow. It was messy, urgent, hands mapping unfamiliar territories, breaths sinking like they'd been waiting lifetimes. "God! Nick!" Tyler gasped against his neck, fingers digging into his back. "You feel like home." Nicholas pulled him closer, heart hammering with a fear he couldn't name. For the first time in years, the nightmares stayed away, replaced by mornings of coffee and Eli's crayon drawings taped to the fridge. Tyler brought the boy over one weekend, Eli shy at first, then lighting up when Nicholas showed him how to skip stones at Green Lake. "You're like a superhero, Mr. Nick," Eli said, gap-toothed grin wide. Nicholas ruffled his hair, chest tight with something dangerously close to hope. But hope's a fragile thing in a city built on rain and reinvention. Tyler had shadows of his own, late-night calls he took in the hallway, Whispers about old debts that made Nicholas's cop instincts twitch. He pushed it down, told himself it was paranoia from the job. Love like this didn't come with footnotes. They built a rhythm. Tyler's laughter filling the apartment. Eli's bedtime stories read in Nicholas's gravelly baritone. Stolen kisses in the kitchen while pancakes burned. One night, under a canopy of stars at Discovery Park, Tyler dropped to one knee, not with a ring, but with a key. Move in with me, Nick. Us three. Let's make this real. Nicholas said yes before the words fully landed, sealing it with a kiss that tasted like forever. The cracks showed on a crisp autumn afternoon, 3 months in. Nicholas was walking Eli home from preschool, Tyler working late on a deadline. The boy tugged his hand, face pale under the hood of his rain jacket. "Mr. Nick," Eli said, voice small against the patter of leaves. "Daddy's in trouble. The bad men are coming back." Nicholas knelt, heart skipping. "What bad men, buddy?" Eli's eyes darted. Then he leaned in, breath hot on Nicholas's ear. "They killed Uncle Joey. Daddy saw. He promised not to tell. But now they know about you." The world tilted. Nicholas froze, the rain starting again, cold as the betrayal blooming in his gut. Uncle Joey, Tyler's brother, dead in a car accident last year, ruled unsuspicious. But Nicholas knew suspicious. He chased it for 2 decades. That whisper unlocked the vault Nicholas had sealed shut. Back in his bureau days, he'd infiltrated the Rossi family, a syndicate that laundered money through Seattle's tech startups, clean on the surface, rotten underneath. The sting went south when his cover blew. His partner gunned down in a warehouse by Rossi's enforcer, a ghost named Marco. Nicholas testified. The family splintered, but loose ends lingered. Tyler's freelance gigs? They'd smelled off from the start. Too many consults for shadowy firms. And Joey. Joey Rossi, the black sheep cousin who'd gone straight, or so the obit said. He confronted Tyler that night, the apartment thick with unspoken thunder. Eli was asleep, oblivious in his rocket ship pajamas. "Who the hell are you?" Nicholas demanded, voice low, the 6-pack from earlier forgotten on the counter. Tyler's face crumpled, then hardened. "Nick, please, it's not what you think." But it was. Tyler confessed in fragments. Born Tyler Rossi. He'd fled the family at 18, changed his name, built a life. Joey had pulled him back in last year, desperate for a digital fix on a rival's accounts. "It was one job," Tyler pleaded, hands shaking. "Joey died because he talked." "They think I did too," Nicholas paced, the agent in him roaring to life. "And me? You drag me into this?" Eli whispering hits like that. "Jesus. Ty. He's 4. The fight spilled into the hall, voices cracking like thunder. "I love you, Nick. That's why I didn't tell. Didn't want to lose this." Tyler grabbed his arm, eyes wild. Nicholas yanked free, the touch burning now. "Love? This is a goddamn setup. You think I won't turn you in?" He stormed out, rain lashing his face as he drove to an old contact, a retired Fed named Harlan, nursing a beer in a Bellevue strip mall. "Rossi remnants," Harlan grunted over greasy fries. "Marco's out, gunning for loose lips. Your boy's name's on a list." Nicholas's blood ran cold. Betrayal wasn't just Tyler's lie. It was the secret threading through their bed, their breakfast, Eli's laughter. He returned at dawn, soaked and hollow, to find Tyler packing. Eli clung to his leg, tear-streaked. "Don't go, Daddy. Don't leave Mr. Nick." Tyler knelt, hugging him fierce. "I have to, buddy. To keep us safe." Their eyes met over the boy's head, raw, aching. "Run," Nicholas said, voice breaking. "Take him south. Mexico if you have to. I'll cover tracks." Tyler's laugh was bitter. The hero act? After everything. But he nodded, pulling Nicholas into a kiss that shattered them both. Salt and desperation. Hands fisting shirts like lifelines. "I never meant to hurt you," Tyler whispered. "You were my redemption." Nicholas cupped his face, thumb tracing the scar above his lip. "And you were mine. Go. Before I change my mind." They vanished that week, Tyler wiring a ghost account for bus tickets to Portland, then deeper. Nicholas played the part, filed a missing persons on a sudden family emergency, leaked false trails to Harlan's network. Sleepless nights blurred into days, the apartment echoing with ghosts, Eli's toys under the couch, Tyler's cologne on a forgotten sweater. He dove back in, unofficial, hacking old case files from a burner laptop. Marco's crew was closing in, whispers of a hit on The Snitch's Lover. Nicholas's hands shook as he loaded his old Glock, the weight familiar as regret. Weeks turned to a month, the silence deafening. Then, a postcard, no return address, just a Seattle skyline and scrawled words, "We're breathing. Love breaks chains." T. Nicholas traced the ink, tears blurring the ink. But love wasn't enough. It was a fuse. He tracked a lead to a derelict warehouse in Tacoma, the same one where his partner died. Heart pounding, he slipped in under cover of fog, shadows swallowing him whole. Inside, the air reeked of rust and old blood. Marco lounged against crates, flanked by two goons, a ledger open like a taunt. "Hail," he sneered, voice gravel. "The Fed who wouldn't die. Come for your boyfriend's head." Nicholas's pulse thundered. "Where is he?" Marco laughed. "Low. Hiding like a rat. But kids talk. That whisper from the brat? Priceless." Rage boiled Eli. Innocent Eli. The pawn. Nicholas lunged, fist connecting with a jaw, chaos erupting in grunts and gunfire echoes. He took a graze to the arm, hot pain blooming, but felled one goon with a knee to the gut. Marco swung wild, knife flashing, but Nicholas was faster, years of ghosts fueling him. He disarmed, pinned, Glock to temple. "For Joey. For my partner. End it." Marco spat blood. "Family's blood. Hail." "You wouldn't." Nicholas fired, the shot muffled, final. Sirens wailed distant. He slipped out, bloodied but unbroken, the ledger clutched like absolution. Portland, 3 months later. Nicholas drove slow through the Pearl District. Rain a soft patter now, not the lash of accusation. A tip from Harlan. Tyler holed up in a walk-up, Eli in a Montessori. He parked, heard a war drum, and climbed the stairs. The door cracked open. Tyler's face, thinner, haunted, froze in mirror of that rainy night. "Nick," a whisper, disbelieving. Eli barreled past, hugging his legs. "Superhero, you came." They talked for hours. Tyler's apartment warm with chili on the stove. Eli coloring at the table. Confessions spilled. The fear, the running, the nights Tyler cried for the man he'd almost destroyed. "I betrayed you by silence," Tyler said, voice raw. "But you saved us." Nicholas took his hand, scars brushing scars. "We save each other. That's the deal." The kiss was slow, healing, forgiveness in every brush, every sigh. No rings yet, no grand gestures, just three souls piecing a life from shards. Seattle faded to memory, the agency a closed file. Nicholas consulted freelance now, security for queer nonprofits. His voice steady in boardrooms advocating for kids like Eli out, proud, protected. Tyler's designs bloomed, bold graphics for pride campaigns, their love woven into pixels and ink. Evenings found them at the waterfront, Eli skipping stones, laughter bridging the gaps. Betrayal's sting dulled to lessen. Love wasn't blind. It was the light that exposed shadows, and still chose to stay. In the end, it wasn't happily ever after, no fairy tale bows. It was human, messy, real, arguments over bedtime, worries about Marco's ghosts, the quiet terror of what-ifs. But on a clear spring day, as cherry blossoms rained pink confetti over the Willamette, Nicholas slipped a key into Tyler's palm. "Ours," he murmured. Tyler smiled, pulling him close, Eli giggling between. "Yeah, ours." And in that tangle, under an American sky vast as second chances, they whispered secrets no longer deadly, just promises, soft as the wind. The rain hammered the cracked sidewalk like 1,000 tiny accusations, each drop accusing Nicholas Hale of the life he'd tried to bury under layers of regret and cheap bourbon. He was just trying to get home from the corner store, plastic bag swinging heavy with a six-pack and a loaf of bread that tasted like cardboard these days, when the kid appeared out of the storm, small, soaked, ice too old for 4 years, clutching a stuffed bear that had seen better decades. "Mister," the boy whimpered, voice cutting through the downpour like a knife through fog. "Daddy says you're gonna die if you tell." Nicholas froze, the words landing like a gut punch from his old undercover days. Because in that split second, he knew this wasn't some lost toddler's nightmare. This was the ghost of his past clawing its way back, wrapped in a child's trembling whisper. But that was later, months of unraveling, of love's sharp edges drawing first blood. To understand the shock that rooted Nicholas to that sidewalk, you have to rewind to the man he was before the whisper, before Tyler, before the fragile family they almost built. Seattle's gray veil clung to everything that November evening, turning the Puget Sound into a smudged watercolor from Nicholas's apartment window. He'd retired from the FBI 5 years ago, at 42, after a bullet grazed his shoulder in a botched sting that cost him his partner, and damn near his soul. The agency called it burnout, he called it survival. Now, he scraped by on a pension that barely covered the rent on his one-bedroom in Capitol Hill, fixing leaky faucets for neighbors and nursing a Scotch habit that whispered promises of numbness. Gay in a world that still side-eyed it, even in liberal Seattle, Nicholas had learned to love quietly, if at all. His last real shot at it ended in a ghosting text from a barista named Mark, who couldn't handle the nightmares Nicholas woke up screaming from. That's when Tyler walked into the Rusty Anchor, the dive bar 2 blocks from Nicholas's place, like he'd been scripted by some cruel god of second chances. It was a Thursday, the kind where the jukebox played too loud Springsteen to drown out the regrets. Tyler was 30, all lean muscle and easy smiles, with dark curls that fell just so over hazel eyes that held storms you wanted to weather. He slid onto the stool next to Nicholas, nursing a IPA, and said, "You look like a man who's seen the devil and bought him a drink." Nicholas chuckled, low and rusty. Flirting wasn't his game anymore, but Tyler's laugh pulled him in, warm as the first crack of sunlight after weeks of rain. They talked for hours that night, the bar emptying around them like water down a drain. Tyler was a graphic designer, freelance, scraping by in the gig economy while raising his son, Eli, alone after his ex bailed for Silicon Valley and a better life. "Kid's my anchor," Tyler said, tracing the rim of his glass. "For going on 40. Keeps me honest." Nicholas shared scraps, nothing deep, just the surface scars. The ex-wife who'd left when he came out, the job that ate his youth. But Tyler's gaze lingered, hungry for the truths beneath, and when he leaned in, their knees brushing under the bar, Nicholas felt a spark he thought long dead. 2 weeks later, they were tangled in Nicholas's sheets, the city lights painting Tyler's skin in gold and shadow. It was messy, urgent, hands mapping unfamiliar territories, breaths sinking like they'd been waiting lifetimes. "God! Nick!" Tyler gasped against his neck, fingers digging into his back. "You feel like home." Nicholas pulled him closer, heart hammering with a fear he couldn't name. For the first time in years, the nightmares stayed away, replaced by mornings of coffee and Eli's crayon drawings taped to the fridge. Tyler brought the boy over one weekend, Eli shy at first, then lighting up when Nicholas showed him how to skip stones at Green Lake. "You're like a superhero, Mr. Nick," Eli said, gap-toothed grin wide. Nicholas ruffled his hair, chest tight with something dangerously close to hope. Hope's a fragile thing in a city built on rain and reinvention. Tyler had shadows of his own, late-night calls he took in the hallway, whispers about old debts that made Nicholas's cop instincts twitch. He pushed it down, told himself it was paranoia from the job. Love like this didn't come with footnotes. They built a rhythm. Tyler's laughter filling the apartment, Eli's bedtime stories read in Nicholas's gravelly baritone, stolen kisses in the kitchen while pancakes burned. One night, under a canopy of stars at Discovery Park, Tyler dropped to one knee, not with a ring, but with a key. "Move in with me, Nick. Us three. Let's make this real." Nicholas said yes before the words fully landed, sealing it with a kiss that tasted like forever. The domesticity settled like a warm blanket, but blankets hide drafts. Nicholas noticed the small things. Tyler's hesitation when Eli asked about Uncle Joey, the way he'd vanish for client meetings that stretched into midnight. "Just the grind," Tyler would say, deflecting with a grin and a hand down Nicholas's pants. And God, the sex, it was fire. Tyler's body a map Nicholas memorized in the dark. Every curve and gasp a balm to old wounds. They'd collapse laughing, sweat slick, whispering futures over takeout foe. "Picture it," Tyler murmured one night, head on Nicholas's chest. "Eli in Little League, you coaching, me cheering too loud." Nicholas smiled into his hair, ignoring the itch at the back of his mind. Eli became the glue, innocent and fierce. The boy took to Nicholas like a duck to rain, dragging him to playgrounds and insisting on secret agent games, where Nicholas saved the day from imaginary villains. "Pow! You're safe now," Eli would yell, hugging his leg. Tyler watched with eyes soft as fog, mouthing thank you over the boy's head. It was enough to silence doubts, to believe in the lie they were building, a family, patchwork but whole. Until the afternoon walk home from preschool, the sky bruising purple, Eli's small hand clammy in his. "Mr. Nick," the boy said, stopping dead under a dripping awning. "Daddy's in trouble. The bad men are coming back." Nicholas's stomach dropped. "What bad men? Buddy, tell me." Eli glanced around, then cupped his mouth to Nicholas's ear. Breath a hot puff. "They killed Uncle Joey. Daddy saw. He promised not to tell. But now they know about you. They said you'd die too." The world narrowed to that whisper, rain roaring in Nicholas's ears like judgment. He scooped Eli up, legs numb as he carried him home, the plastic bag from the store long forgotten in the gutter. Tyler was there, stirring soup, radio crooning Adele. "Hey, heroes, how was?" His words died at Nicholas's face. Eli wriggled down, scampering to his room. "What happened?" Tyler asked, voice tight. Nicholas's voice was steel. "You tell me. Start with who the fuck Joey really was." Tyler's face drained of color, the spoon clattering to the floor like a confession. He sank into a chair, hands raking through his curls. "Nick, sit. Please." Nicholas didn't. He loomed, arms crossed, the agent in him dissecting every flinch, every averted eye. "Eli said bad men killed Joey. That you saw. That they're coming for us." Tyler's breath hitched. "He's 4. Nick." Kids mix stories, but his voice cracked, the lie thin as the steam rising from the pot. "Don't," Nicholas snapped. "I've chased liars for 20 years. Spill it." Tyler stood, pacing the tiny kitchen, elbows brushing counters. "Joey was my brother. Blood, not the saint I made him. We grew up in Tacoma, rough side, dad in prison, mom working doubles. Joey got pulled into the Rossies young, small-time crew running protection for docs. I got out at 18, changed my name, vowed never back." He stopped, eyes pleading. "But last year, Joey called desperate. Said he had dirt on the family, ledgers proving they laundered through tech firms. Needed my skills to digitize it, send to feds anonymously." Nicholas's blood chilled. The Rossies, he knew them intimately. His final case, the warehouse bloodbath, Marco Rossi's sneer as he pulled the trigger on Agent Reyes. "You snitched." Tyler shook his head fierce. "No, Joey did. I just helped with the files." Then he turned up dead, accident on I-5. Cops bought it. But Marco, the enforcer, he sniffed around, thought I had the originals. Tyler's hands trembled. "I burned them, Nick. Swear." But Eli. He overheard Joey yelling on the phone once. Kids remember everything, the pieces slotted, ugly and sharp. Tyler's gigs, the late nights, cover for paranoia, not infidelity. Nicholas sagged against the wall, the fight leaching out. "Why not tell me? I'm ex-fed. I could have protected us." Tyler laughed, hollow. "Or turned me in. I met you to forget that life, not drag you in." He stepped close, hand hovering. Nicholas flinched. "You used me. As what, alibi? Blind spot?" Tyler's eyes welled. "No. I fell, Nick. Hard. You and Eli. You're my clean slate." They stood there, inches apart, the air thick with unsaid hurts. Then Tyler closed the gap, lips crashing desperate, hands fisting Nicholas's shirt. It was apology and anchor, tongues tangling with the salt of tears. Nicholas groaned, shoving him against the counter, the kiss bruising, reclaiming. "Don't lie again," he growled, nipping Tyler's jaw. "Never," Tyler panted, legs wrapping his waist. They stumbled to the bedroom. Eli's door cracked but quiet, shedding clothes like sins. It was slower this time, reverent, Nicholas mapping freckles like constellations, Tyler arching with whispers of love you, love you. Release came shuddering, bodies locked, as if holding tight could seal the cracks. Morning brought fragile peace. Nicholas woke to Eli's giggle, Tyler flipping eggs with exaggerated flair. "Spy breakfast. Mr. Nick, eggs like bombs." The boy waved a spatula. Nicholas forced a smile, sliding into the routine, but the seed was planted, doubt, thorny and insistent. He started small checks. Tyler's phone while he showered. Nothing but freelance invoices. A call to Harlan. Casual. Old Rossi chatter? Harlan's pause stretched. Quiet since the split. "Why? Just ghosts," Nicholas lied, hanging up with a knot in his gut. Life pressed on, romantic in its American grit. They took Eli to the Space Needle, Tyler hoisting him high for the view, Nicholas snapping photos, candid, sunlit, the kind that lied beautifully on Instagram. Dates snuck in, a ferry to Bainbridge, hands linked on deck, wind whipping secrets away. "Remember our first night?" Tyler murmured, back to Nicholas's chest. "Thought you'd bolt when I mentioned Eli." Nicholas kissed his temple. "Thought you'd see the baggage and run." Laughter bubbled. "Easy." But Nicholas's eyes scanned the horizon. "Always." The betrayal simmered subtle. Tyler's ex, Liam, texted once, "Heard you're playing house. Good luck with the Fed." Nicholas deleted it, rage flaring. Who'd talked, but Tyler swore ignorance. And the makeup sex was wildfire, apologies etched in bites and moans. Eli sensed the undercurrent, clinging tighter. "Are you mad at Daddy?" he asked one night, tucked in with his bear. Nicholas knelt, throat tight. "Nah, buddy. Just figuring out the bad guys." Eli hugged him fierce. "You're the best good guy." Winter deepened. Holidays attest. They strung lights on a Charlie Brown tree, Eli's wonder lighting the room brighter than bulbs. Nicholas's gift to Tyler, a leather journal, "For the truths," inscribed inside. Tyler's to him, a custom watch, engraved times hours. New Year's. They danced in the living room to Coltrane, Eli asleep on the couch, champagne fizzing like hope. "To us," Tyler toasted, ice shining. Nicholas clinked, but his mind wandered to Marco's file photo, cold eyes, tattooed knuckles. The call came Valentine's, Tyler in the shower, phone buzzing on the dresser. Nicholas glanced, unknown number, but the voice when he answered was silk over steel. "Tell Rossi Jr. the debt's due. Or the kid pays." Click. Nicholas's hands shook, dialing Tyler out. "Who was that?" Tyler emerged, towel low, face paling at the fury. "An old associate. Joey's mess. They think I have leverage." Nicholas exploded. "Leverage? Christ. Ty. This is my life too." "Eli's." Tyler dropped to his knees, gripping Nicholas's thighs. "I handled it, wired what I could. It's over." But Nicholas pulled away, the touch tainted. "How do I trust that?" The fight raged quiet. Vicious whispers to spare Eli, but words like knives. "You came into this half in," Nicholas accused. "Half? I gave you everything," Tyler shot back, tears hot. They slept apart, the bed a chasm. Dawn. Nicholas found Tyler on the fire escape, staring at the sound. "I'm scared, Nick, of losing you more than them." Nicholas joined him, shoulders brushing. "Then fight clean. No more shadows." Tyler nodded, leaning in. The kiss was tentative, rebuilding, lips soft, hands gentle. They made love there, on the narrow ledge, city waking below, reaffirming in gasps and grips. But trust fractured doesn't mend easy. Nicholas started shadowing Tyler's meetings, tailing from a rental car, heart sinking at the seedy motels, the envelope exchanges. Not drugs, cash. For silence, he guessed. Confrontation brewed, but so did the pull. Tyler's laugh at Eli's school play, the way he'd hum off-key in the shower, drawing Nicholas in like gravity. Romance persisted, stubborn, picnics in volunteer park. Tyler sketching Nicholas's profile. My muse, deep emotions layered, humanistic in their flaws. Two men, scarred by worlds that punished their love, clinging to this stolen normalcy. Eli's innocence amplified it. "Daddy loves Mr. Nick like peanut butter loves jelly," he'd declare at dinner, making them chuckle through tension. Nicholas read him stories of brave knights, queer knights. He slipped in once. Knights who loved princes. Eli beamed. "Like you and Daddy?" "Yeah, buddy. Like us." The Whisper weekend came unannounced. Tyler away on a deadline, Nicholas with Eli at the aquarium, otters frolicking like joy. Walking home, the boy tugged, face stormy. The words tumbled, deadly secret uncoiling. Nicholas carried him, mind racing, protect, expose, love despite. Home, the confrontation replayed, Tyler's confession a dam breaking. But this time, Nicholas saw the man beneath. Terrified father, lover cornered. "We end this," he said, pulling Tyler close. Together, Tyler sobbed into his shoulder. Together, yet as they held. Phone buzzed, Harlan, Rossi heat rising. "Watch your back." The storm gathered, climax looming. Spring teased Seattle with reluctant blooms, but the air in Nicholas's apartment hung heavy, laced with the acrid tang of unspoken dread. The confrontation after Eli's whisper had patched them, sort of stitches over a wound still seeping. Tyler swore off the shadows, deleted contacts, even let Nicholas vet his gigs. "Clean slate," he'd say, kissing Nicholas's knuckles like a vow. And for a while, it held. Mornings blurred into lazy affection. Tyler's head in Nicholas's lap as he sketched logos, Eli building forts from couch cushions. Nights were theirs, slow, exploratory, Tyler's body arching under skilled hands, moans muffled in pillows. "You're my safe harbor," Tyler breathed post-climax, fingers tracing Nicholas's jaw. Nicholas believed it, or wanted to, burying doubts in the warmth of skin on skin. But doubt's a persistent weed, rooted deep. Nicholas's old habits died hard. He pored over public records at the library, cross-referencing Tyler's past aliases. Tyler Voss, clean, except for a juvenile sealed in Tacoma. But Rossi echoes lingered. Joey's obit mentioned a devoted brother. No name. Nicholas's gut twisted. Betrayal wasn't just omission. It was the half-life Tyler lived, dragging them all toward the edge. Eli felt it too, his games turning darker. "Bad wolves are coming for the daddy bear," he'd narrate, bear in one hand, wolf puppet in the other. Nicholas intervened with ice cream runs to Molly Moon's, scoops of salted caramel melting conspiracies away. "Wolves don't stand a chance against us," he'd say, ruffling Eli's curls. Tyler joined, forcing brightness, but his eyes shadowed, phone silenced on silent. One evening, as they tucked Eli in, the boy clutched Nicholas's sleeve. "Promise you won't let them take Daddy?" Nicholas's throat closed. "Promise." Tyler's grateful look gutted him. "Love, yes, but laced with fear." The crack widened mid-May, a rainy Tuesday. Nicholas came home early from a plumbing side gig, arms full of groceries for Tyler's birthday surprise, steak, wine, the works. The apartment was dim, door ajar. Voices filtered low, Tyler's, tense. Another, gravelly. Nicholas eased in, pulse spiking, Glock mental in his mind though he'd stowed the real one post-retirement. Peering from the hall, he saw Tyler at the table, envelope sliding across to a man in a trench coat, mid-40s, scarred cheek, eyes like chipped flint. "Marco. Final payment. Rossi. Or the feds get the tape." Marco's voice slithered. Tyler's jaw clenched. "It's Voss. And there's no tape." Marco chuckled. "Joey's ghost says different." "Your Fed boyfriend? He's next if you rabbit again." Tyler's head snapped up. "Touch him. You die." Marco leaned in. "Family first. Little bro." "Blood calls." Nicholas's world tunneled. He slipped out, heart a freight train, rain masking his retreat to the car. Betrayal bloomed full, Tyler paying off Marco, lying still, the clean slate a farce. Fury warred with ache. He drove aimless, tires sluicing puddles, Springsteen's "I'm on Fire" mocking from the radio. Hours later, he returned, face schooled neutral. Tyler greeted with a kiss, oblivious. "Missed you." "Eli's at Playdate dinner?" Nicholas nodded, mechanical, the steak searing while his mind charred. That night, post-meal, Eli asleep, Nicholas cornered him in the kitchen. "Saw your visitor." Tyler froze, dish towel twisting. "Nick, it's not Marco Rossi. Paying hush money on a tape while I play house with your son." Tyler's face crumpled. "He cornered me. Said if I didn't..." Eli, sobs choked him. Nicholas's resolve cracked. "Months, Ty. Months of it's over. You're bleeding us dry." Tyler lunged, gripping his arms. "I hate it. Every cent from gigs I hate. But for us, for you, I'd sell my soul." The kiss was feral, desperate, clothes shedding in a trail to the bedroom. It was punishment and plea, Nicholas pinning him down, thrusts hard, Tyler's nails raking back in sorries and gasps. Climax shattered them, tears mingling on sheets. But repair was illusion. Nicholas contacted Harlan Covert, meeting in a dingy diner off Aurora. Tyler's in deep paying Marco, Harlan's bushy brows knit. Rossi Jr.? Thought he ghosted. Nicholas slid the photo he'd snapped, blurry but damning. "Get me leverage." "Quiet." Harlan nodded, but warned, "Love blinds. Hail. Don't let it kill you." Back home, Nicholas watched Tyler sleep, Eli's snores sinking from the next room. Humanistic ache. This man, flawed, fighting monsters for his child. Yet betrayal stung. Poison slow. Tension coiled tighter. Tyler noticed the distance. Nicholas's clipped replies. The way he'd stare at the sound like it held answers. Talk to me, Tyler begged one night, straddling him on the couch, hands roaming. Nicholas flipped them, taking control, mouth hot on Tyler's throat. Trust is earned, he murmured, fingers teasing lower. Tyler arched, whimpering, then earn it back. The sex was languid, emotional, eye contact holding like lifelines, bodies sinking in forgiveness's rhythm. After tangled, Tyler confessed fragments. The tape was Joey's dying words, hidden on a drive Tyler swore he'd destroyed. Marco's bluffing. Nicholas held him, but seeded a plan. Eli's preschool graduation, absurdly formal for tots, became a brief oasis. Caps and gowns, Tyler tearing up as Eli diplomaed with a crayon scroll. Nicholas clapped, arm around Tyler's waist, the picture of domestic bliss. Later, at Golden Gardens, picnic spread, Eli chasing gulls, Tyler leaned in. We're good, right? Despite, Nicholas kissed him soft. We're us. Romance flickered, sun on Tyler's lashes, laughter free. But as dusk fell, Nicholas's phone buzzed, Harlan's text. Drive located. Tacoma lockup. Joey's stash. The drive to Tacoma was solitary. Midnight black. Wipers battling drizzle. Nicholas broke in easy old skills. Rusty lock. The unit, dusty boxes, faded photos of young Tyler and Joey, grinning gap-toothed. Then the drive, tucked in a false bottom. Plugging into his laptop in the car. Files bloomed. Ledgers. Audio Joey's voice. Ragged. Tyler's clean. Marco. He helped, but he's out. Kill me, not him. Proof. And a video Joey's last night. Marco's shadow looming. Argument escalating to shots. Nicholas's hands shook. Evidence to bury the Rossis for good. Betrayal's twist came dawn. Racing home. Apartment empty. Note on counter. Had to end it. Protect you both. Forgive me. T panic clawed. Eli's room bare. Toys gone. Tyler's closet half empty. Nicholas tore out. Calling frantic, no answer. Harlan. Tracked a wire southbound. Portland bus. Heart fracturing. Nicholas floored it. The I-5 a blur. Hours later. Pearl District. Abandoned warehouse from a tip. He burst in. Gun drawn from glove box. Tyler on knees. Marco looming. Eli gagged in corner. Wide-eyed terror. You brought the Fed? Marco sneered. Pistol on Tyler's temple. Family reunion. Tyler's eyes met Nicholas's. Apology. Love. Despair. Run, Nick. Please. But Nicholas advanced. Voice steady. Drop it. Tapes with feds. Joey's murder, yours. Marco laughed, but faltered. Bluff. Nicholas tossed the drive. Check it. As Marco glanced. Nicholas lunged. Shot cracking, grazing shoulder. Goon down. Chaos. Tyler grabbing Eli. Scrambling back. Nicholas wrestled Marco. Fists flying. Old wounds reopening. Knife slash to arm. Blood hot. But Nicholas pinned. Knee to throat. For Reyes. For Joey. Sirens wailed Harlan's call. Marco gasped. Blood. Nicholas's bullet silenced him. Tyler rushed forward. Eli buried in his neck. You came. Nicholas pulled them close. Blood smearing. Trembling. Always. The kiss, amid flashing lights, was salt and salvation, deep, romantic in ruin. The warehouse reeked of cordite and copper, gunpowder ghosts mingling with Nicholas's blood, dripping steady from the slash on his arm. Cops swarmed, badges flashing like accusatory stars, Harlan barking orders to keep it off books as possible. Tyler clutched Eli tight, the boy's face buried in his shoulder, tiny body shaking silent sobs. It's okay, baby. Daddy's here, Tyler murmured, rocking him, but his eyes locked on Nicholas. Raw gratitude, terror's afterburn. Nicholas nodded, weak grin through pain, as paramedics patched him hasty, morphine dulling edges. Hero shit, one said, winking. Nicholas waved it off. Heroes bled. Lovers survived. Interrogation room at the precinct. Sterile fluorescent buzz. Coffee like motor oil. Tyler sat opposite. Eli dozing on his lap. Courtesy of a social worker's blanket. Nicholas, bandaged, faced the detective, a no-nonsense woman named Reyes. Ironic twist. Start talking. Hail. Unofficial op. He leaned in. Family protection. Rossi remnants. Evidence on drive. She scanned the files, nodding slow. This buries Marco's crew. But your boyfriend. Witness tampering. Tyler stiffened. Self-defense. He saved us. Reyes eyed them, clocking the hand-holding under table. Gay fed and the snitch's kin. Hallmark movie, but her tone softened. Go. Harlan vouched. Loose ends. Call. They emerged into dawn's hesitant light. Seattle's skyline smudged pink. Tyler's truck waited, impounded but released quick bureau favors. Eli stirred, mumbling superhero, fist in Nicholas's shirt. Let's get you home, Nicholas said, buckling him in. Home. Portland? Seattle? The word wobbled. Tyler drove. Silent miles. Hand on Nicholas's knee. You could have died. Nicholas covered it. Worth it. At a roadside diner. Pancakes for Eli. They talked low, plans fracturing. Feds'll want statements, Tyler said. Relocation? Witness protection. Nicholas shook head. We run our way. My contacts. Your smarts. East Coast? New names. Fresh start. Eli's giggle cut tension. Syrup-smeared grin. Pancakes fix everything. Tyler laughed, wiping his chin, but tears tracked. Yeah, kiddo. Nicholas watched. Heart full, romance reborn in ruins, emotional depth in the ordinary. They drove south. Willamette Valley unfolding green. Tentative map. Portland loft. Short term. Exposed brick. View of bridges. Unpacking toys. Eli's bear perched sentinel. That night, Eli crashed early. Nightmares chased with stories. Tyler and Nicholas on the balcony. City hum below. Wine loosening tongues. I betrayed you, Tyler whispered, head on Nicholas's shoulder. Lies. Payments. Dragged you to hell. Nicholas tilted his chin. And I doubted. Tailed you like a mark. We're even. The kiss started soft. Exploratory. Lips brushing tentative. Then deepening. hands roaming familiar paths. They made love on the futon, slow and sacred, Tyler atop, rocking gentle, eyes locked, whispers of mine and forever. Climax built like waves, crashing mutual, bodies shuddering in sync. After, tangled, Tyler traced Nicholas's bandage. Scars match now, Nicholas smiled. Battle wounds. Our story. But Climax's echo lingered, federal calls. Harlan updating, crews crumbling. Tapes sealed you airtight, yet paranoia nipped. Shadows in alleys, wrong numbers. Tyler jumped at doorbells. Eli asking, bad men gone. Nicholas built routines, self-defense classes for them all, kid-sized. Romance wove through, surprise dates to Powell's books. Tyler reading poetry aloud, Walt Whitman. I sing the body electric, voice husky. Nicholas countered with mixtapes, old soul like Marvin Gaye, slow dancing in the kitchen. Deep feelings surfaced, Tyler's fear of abandonment, Nicholas's of loss. You make me brave, Tyler confessed one night, vulnerable. And you make me believe, Nicholas replied, sealing with touch. Eli thrived, preschool enrollment seamless, his chatter a bomb. Mr. Nick's my other daddy, he'd announce, beaming. Tyler teared. Nicholas swelled, family, humanistic, forged in fire. But conflict simmered. Tyler's freelance dried, stress mounting. Can't risk clients tracing, he said. Nicholas nodded, dipping into savings for security cams, burner phones. One evening, argument flared, Tyler's frustration boiling. I'm useless, dragging you down. Nicholas pinned him to the wall. Kiss fierce. You're everything. It dissolved to passion. Clothes shed urgent. Nicholas taking him bent over the table. Thrusts claiming. Tyler's moans echoing, yes. God. Yes. Release left them gasping. Reaffirming. Summer swelled. Heat wave unusual. Mirroring inner fire. They escaped to Oregon coast. Cannon Beach. Sandcastles with Eli. Haystack Rock at low tide. Evenings. Bonfire crackle. Tyler's head in lap. Eli roasting marshmallows. This is it, Tyler said. Stars pricking sky. Nicholas agreed. But vigilance hummed. Harlan's warning. One Rossi cousin loose. Low threat. But eyes open. Betrayal's ghost. Had Tyler held more back? Nicholas shoved it. Focusing on now their love. Dramatic in survival. Romantic in stolen sunsets. Climax's true peak hit August. Anonymous tip to Nicholas's secure line. Voss in Portland. Finished Joey's job. Heart-stopping. He raced home. Finding Tyler at the park with Eli, swing pushes. Laughter pure. But tailing shadows. Black SUV. Circling. Nicholas intercepted. Pulling Tyler aside. They're here. Panic flashed. They bundled Eli. Fleeing to a safe house Harlan prepped. Cabin in Cascades. Off-grid. Hiding. Days blurred. Card games with Eli. Tense whispers. I should have told everything, Tyler agonized. Nicholas held him. We tell now. Full truth. Tyler's flood. Another drive. Hidden deeper insurance. Joey's final gift. Coordinates in my old sketchbook. Nicholas retrieved. Decoding frantic. It led to a bank box. Vancouver, BC, more files. Implicating the cousin. Cross-border dash. Tension electric. At the bank. Confrontation. Cousin waiting. Gun drawn. Blood debt. Struggle brief. Brutal Nicholas disarming. Shot wide. Cops swarmed international. Cousin cuffed. Back over border. Files to feds. Chain broken. Aftermath. Exhaustion. Elation. Cabin nights turned tender. Tyler's gratitude in every touch. Sex exploratory. Healing. You fought for us, he said. Riding slow. Hands linked. Nicholas groaned. Always will. Emotional peak. Tears mid-thrust. Love's depth overwhelming. Humanistic turn. Not perfect, but persevering. Fall beckoned. Portland roots deepening. New school for Eli. Tyler's designs for local queer arts. Nicholas consulted. Voice in community, panels on resilience. His story veiled but inspiring. Betrayal faded scar. Conflict to strength. Autumn painted Portland in russet and gold. Leaves crunching underfoot like fragile resolutions. The cabin safehouse had been a cocoon, but now they emerged tentative, transformed. The Rossi cousins' arrest hit headlines muted. Syndicate remnant falls in cross-border sting. No names. Harlan's doing. But the weight lifted. Air lighter. Tyler's sketchbook. Once Pandora's. Now doodlepad for Eli's dragons. Nicholas burned the last files in a backyard pit. Ashes scattering on wind, closure's smoke signal. Reentry was gentle chaos. Loft unpacked full. Eli's room a riot of posters, superheroes, rainbows for pride. Our castle, he declared, hugging legs. Tyler watched. I soft. Our kingdom. Nicholas pulled him close. Kiss lingering, morning light gilding them. Promise in every brush. Days settled. Tyler's freelance bloomed ethical. Logos for trans shelters. Pride floats. Art with heart, he'd say. Cursor flying. Nicholas's gigs expanded. Private eye for at-risk youth. Leveraging Fed ties. Evenings. Collaborative. Tyler sketching while Nicholas read case notes. Eli's homework a joint affair. Romance deepened. Seasoned. Less fire. More ember. Date nights at screen door. Fried chicken and mimosas. Tyler's foot hooking ankle under table. Remember Seattle rain? He'd tease. Nicholas grinned. Our meet cute was bourbon and bullshit. Laughter led home. Undressing slow. Bodies known intimates. Tyler's back to Nicholas's chest in shower. Water cascading. Hands soaping gentle. Bed claimed them. Missionary intimate. Eye gaze holding. Thrusts measured. Whispers love you sinking breaths. Climax quiet. Profound. Afterglow in talks. Dreams unpacked. Fears aired. Eli anchored. His growth a mirror. Kindergarten tales. Miss Jenny said families come in all shapes, like ours. Tyler teared at pickup. Nicholas squeezing hand. Ours is perfect, but humanistic grit showed. Eli's nightmares resurfaced. Whispers of bad men. They'd co-sleep. Nicholas's stories weaving heroes queer and kind. Knights loving knights. Defeating shadows with truth. Tyler joined. Voice harmonizing. Building safety in tales. Conflict's embers flickered. Tyler's guilt resurging in quiet moments. I almost cost you everything. Nicholas shut it with touch. Fingers in curls. You gave me more. One night, arguments sparked over a delayed payment. Old habits. Can't trust the mail? Nicholas snapped. Tyler fired back. Not after Marco. It escalated. Voices rising till Eli peaked. Teary. Pause shattered them. Apologies and hugs, then bedroom retreat. Makeup raw, Tyler on knees, mouth worshipful, Nicholas gasping forgiveness. Flip to equality. 69 tangled. Mutual devotion till release quaked them. Winter solstice brought ritual. Tree trimming with ornaments handcrafted. Eli's glitter stars. Tyler's wire hearts. Nicholas's bullet casing angels. Reclaimed. Gifts thoughtful. Tyler's poetry chapbook for Nicholas. Verses raw. In your scars, I find grace. Nicholas's for Tyler. Custom ring. Silver band etched chained no more. Eli's gasp at the exchange. Like married, they laughed. Something better us. New Year's. Balcony toast. To unbroken. Fireworks burst. Mirroring hearts. Spring renewal. Move to a house in Selwood. Yard for Eli's bike. Porch swing for them. Neighbors queer friendly. Block parties with drag queens flipping burgers. Nicholas testified anonymous for Fed reforms. Voice for overlooked loves. Tyler's exhibit. Shadows to light. Designs born of pain. Selling out. Pride Month. They marched, Eli on shoulders. Rainbow flag cape. Banner read Love Wins Fights. Their story etched subtle. Betrayals lesson humanized. Therapy sessions joint. Unpacking closets. Tyler's family rejection. Nicholas's bureau isolation. We're not victims, therapist said. Survivors. They nodded. Hands clasped. Eli's input. You're my heroes. Laughter healed. Climax's echo faded fully summer. Anniversary road trip. Crater Lake. Waters sapphire deep. Hike to Wizard Island. Eli splashing shallows. Tyler and Nicholas stealing kisses behind pines. For years since the whisper, Tyler said. Reflective. Nicholas pulled him close. And counting. Night intent. Eli zipped adjacent. They made love hushed. Tyler's hand over mouth. Nicholas's rhythm careful. Connection electric in constraint. Dawn. Lake mirror calm. They swam nude. Bodies buoyant. Love's current carrying. Ending not grand tragedy. Nor flawless ever after, human. Nuanced. Challenges lingered. Eli's questions on dads. Tyler's freelance dips. Nicholas's phantom pains. But they met them woven, arguments to dialogues. Doubts to dances. One evening. Porch swing creak. Eli asleep inside. Tyler's head pillowed on thigh. Worth the shock, Tyler murmured. Nicholas stroked curls. Every heartbeat, kiss sealed. Soft as dusk. Profound as dawn. In America's vast quilt. Flawed. Fierce they stitched theirs, gay love. Paternal. Resilient. The 4-year-old's whisper. Not end. But beginning deadly secret birthing unbreakable bond. Nicholas whispered now to sleeping Tyler. Our forever. And in dreams. No shadows chased.